Eldrum. Red tide. Health points 130 of 130.
And I feel like I did almost everything. And I just was really surprised when I missed 38% of the game.
Yeah.
How about you?
Very much so. And what really gets me, we'll get into this, but there's just so many things that it just says undiscovered, that I didn't even interact with it. Not that I saw it and didn't complete it, because there's some things like that, like where it says, you found it, but you didn't satisfy, the criteria. This is just stuff that I never even stumbled across. And that blows me away. Like, I feel like I visited, well, I felt like I visited every location, but we'll get there in the next achievement, which is your explorer. There's, let's see, so there's 126 locations.
And how many did you visit?
116.
Okay, so you visited four more locations than I did. I have 112 locations visited. Okay, so I feel, what do those locations have that much percentage left to explore? And that's really unusual to think that there's that much left to explore when literally we're only missing, like, what is that, 112, that's like 14 more places to visit. Maybe there's that much content in those 14 places.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some things, I mean, we'll get through where, there's quests that I didn't complete and didn't get achieved, which we'll go through. So there's some of that. But I mean, I only could think of 2 locations that I was like, oh, okay, I didn't get to these locations. And one was the church, which is towards the end. I tried to go in the church and they said, you basically aren't religious enough, so we're not letting you in. Which
not
is totally
pious
true.
enough.
Yeah, I'm not pious enough.
You're not pious enough.
Which was totally true, because I didn't join their religion. I didn't join the.
How dare you turn your nose up at the church?
Right, and then the other one was I forget the name of the town, like Ravinia or something like that. It's a town to the east of the trading post, and you go there and you figure it out. And there was a barred town hall where it says, it's locked from the inside, you can't get in. And I assume you can get in there, but I could not figure out how to get in there. I went back to it a couple times, trying to see if I could get into that location. But Hush, is that what it's called? I think it's Hush.
Yeah, Hush is secret. I did not get into Hush also. We're definitely going to have to figure out what's going on with that. Those are some really interesting secrets. But I do believe, okay, so this is where I'm going to offer my opinion, that there are a lot of secrets in each section, and you really can't always tell if you're missing everything, or is there a hint system, because they have a hint system built into the game's interface that sends you notifications like, hey, dude, you might want to go check out that place that you went by, because it looks like you only gave it a cursory glance, but you might want to swing back,
Where's that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a notification that goes. There's a notifications you can receive that go, hey, you may not have known this, but you actually could have sworn you might want to go revisit this town, because there's actually more going on there than you think.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I mean, I know there's notifications, and I would constantly search the quest when it said something new was posted there, but
yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it did for me. It told me notifications, hey, don't know if you know this, but you missed something. And it's done that to me several times. So maybe we'll double check on that. But let's keep moving. So how did you do on Scholar, which is read all the scrolls?
Oh, so I did not get all of them. I got 15 of them. 15 or 20.
And you did much. Okay, so you got 15 out of 21. So you did much better than me. I only read 9. I'm very shamed. I'm very shamed.
Do you not know how to read?
Shame.
Are you illiterate?
I am. Listen, I thought I read every single thing, but I guess by the end of the entire adventure, I just skipped out of reading. I'm like, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this on my own special time. I thought I had all the time in the world. I thought I'd read all this stuff, but obviously there are tons of scrolls that I didn't even read. Or I had them in my inventory. I didn't bother to read them. So, what do you think? That's something we can probably upgrade. I mean, if you're playing Eldrum right now, you can probably
Make sure to read all the stuff.
you could probably read all the scrolls. Well, let's see. Eldrum just closed on me. That's fine. Let me check.
I mean, I know I only collect. I mean, under scriptures, I only had 15. So, it's not like I didn't read some of them. I just missed 6 of them somehow.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, you got. Yeah, I. Okay, there we go. I'm just checking one real quick. Sorry about that, folks. We're just checking, make sure my Eldrum closed on me. So I guess it just didn't like me leaving it open. Um. Oh. Okay. What did you do? All right. You still there?
But yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, I don't know what. Oh, you know what it is? I probably, I had my. Sorry about that. Never mind, folks. I'll edit this out. I had something come in or a call or something. Anyway, I have it on Do Not Disturb, but you know how that goes. Okay, three, two, one. All right, so, I don't know what's going on with those scrolls, but I do believe, like you said, everyone read all the scrolls, and that's another thing you can do to make sure you get everything.
Were you under the next achievement? I imagine no. I imagine you were not able to get yourself reinstated into the army.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, you. I'm gonna have. Let me bring up my Eldrum again. Give me it. Okay, Eldrum achievements. Come on, Eldrum. All right, cool. Now you're on. Okay, we did Explorer. We did Scholar.
Redemption.
Okay, Mark of Redemption. Yeah, okay, so Mark of Redemption is when you are no longer labeled a CRIXXLE. I'm not saying that word, but you're not labeled as a person who is disabled or a person who is enabled.
Weariness. Isn't that what they said? You have weariness?
Huh?
Yeah, the mark of weariness, I think, is.
Right, and it's a very derogatory term towards somebody with a disability. We're not going to say the word here. I have a habit in my channel. I don't use any words that can be deemed derogatory because I know this is a fantasy game, but obviously the words could be hurtful if you were to say it to somebody in modern times. So yes, you're given this really kind of derogatory, and I'm not saying this to the developers. I love you, developer. I'm not saying it like that. I just mean you're labeled as a person who is suffering from a disability, which isn't really apparent because you seem to kick literally everything out of your way. Like if you're, I
Well,
mean,
you see if you look at the stats at the very beginning, like your strength is 6. I forget what some of the agility is, like 4 or something like that. So, and then it drops down to 1 after the opening prologue scene and the attack on the city.
okay, so yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay, but my thing is, my thing is, and I don't know, it's not a talk show here, but I mean, I know I'm turning it into a talk show because I'm saying, why do we have to call it that word instead of just saying, hey, I haven't worked out in a while, and it's like me in real life, I'm just trying to get my abs slimmed down and get the glutes tamed, and I'm trying to work on the guns a little bit, well, the arms. I'm trying to work on the arms a little bit and trying to get myself in shape a little bit, getting my cardiovascular work up. I don't know why they have to use this term, but I guess it's a medieval game, so I shouldn't take myself so seriously, right?
They weren't so woke back then.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you did not get yourself.
I could not get achieved. Yes, I think the guy seemed very upset that I took bribes at the during my guard post.
Whoa! I didn't take any bribes, but I sure did a lot of brutal stuff. I mean, you just took bribes, but I was killing people. Like, okay, so again, it's our alignment. I don't know why they just don't put alignment above board. Look, I'm just saying, Acnon, if you're really going to use an alignment system, which I mean, a lot of systems are moving away from alignment because it's really hard to tell. Everything is circumstantial. I mean, I had to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I had to do a lot
You
of
have to do
things to
things
a
to
lot of
survive.
people.
Yeah.
I had to survivability.
Listen,
I have
listen.
things.
Is it wrong to dig up graves to get good loot? If that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
It's called exactly. Grave robbing is income based, folks. I have to make some money. I have to make money out there. I can't always be doing right things. Okay, well, we'll get to that. Okay. All right. So neither one of us got redemption. Okay. All right. Vulture.
Is that what
Okay.
your
Did
next thing?
you?
My
Yeah, I'm
next
gonna
thing,
get it.
my next
What do you
thing,
got?
right after you didn't get reinstated, says undiscovered.
Okay. So we don't know what. So I guess we'll just say there are some little things like, okay, so we all know that they're on your achievement. And by the way, this is an update. If you haven't updated, please update your game as soon as possible, because achievements have just been added and they've also been updating constantly. So act none, good job. Yeah, there's an undiscovered. Now we don't know what these are, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
So I
Like,
don't know what
like,
they
like
are.
clearly you can discover it and not achieve it because I have some of those
Mhm.
where it says you found this but you did not meet the requirement. This means I just never talked to the right person or I never went to the right place to even see what this event is or what this
Exactly.
achievement is.
So
So
yeah, so it's a little unfortunate that and again, it's impetus for a replay because you don't know what you miss. And if you really want to get all the deep, rich description that Act None has added to Eldrum Red Tide, which is absolutely amazing, the description and story alone makes this well above a text-based
uh,
RPG strategy
yeah, the
game.
write-ups on like all the gear and stuff like that, it's just again very very rich world building.
Oh yeah, they've outdone themselves. I mean, I played Untold, and Untold was gorgeous. If Untold is gorgeous, then Red Tide is supreme. I
Yeah.
mean, as far as description, and for those of us who are visually impaired, the description is really what makes this rise above. This is the cream in the coffee. It's just so sweet to
You know,
get
you know what
beautiful
the
strategy. Mhm.
yeah, you know what the other thing too is in a lot of these text adventure type of games, and even Untold to some degree, this has a fighting system that I really felt was strategy based. That I
Exactly.
had to think about my loadout. I had to think how I was gonna, who am I fighting? What are they doing? How do I defend against that and counterattack? I really thought it was a good battle simulation that you're encountering, um, as opposed to just pressing a button and that's it, and it's going to turn out whatever way it's going to turn out. I really felt like I had agency in how this battle turns out and how I approach it, and depending on what gear I had and if I'm going to be more aggressive or more defensive with counterattacks. I thought it was really great in that battle design.
Oh goodness, yes. The ability to kind of, like you said, do your loadout, have your strategy in mind, how you're going to fight, how you're going to switch weapons. I
Build
mean,
up
they
your
really threw
advantage.
out all the stops.
When are you going
Mhm.
to use your advantage? Oh, I'm not going to use the advantage against this guy because he only has 6 points left, and I know I have an 8 bleed on him, so he'll die without me doing anything to him. So I'll switch and do my advantage attack against a different character. Like you really kind of were thinking through that battle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My thing was sundering. I'm sundering you until you have zero defense, and then I'm gonna bleed you. So sunder, bleed, and just blast you out of your socks. That's my strategy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you used a little bit of the sundering capability. Some of the weapons have the ability to
Yeah,
lower your overall defense.
yeah, a little bit. I told you I came across a weapon that I fell in love with, so I used that for pretty much the
Oh,
last third of the game.
you guys started dating. You
Yeah,
gotta, I dated my weapon and me. The like the Three Musketeer weapon, the rapier weapon
yeah.
is. I fell in love with that weapon. Me and that weapon, we dated for quite some time. And then the other one was the steel something
Scimitar,
sword,
the steel
scimitar.
scimitar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were going steady.
yeah,
The steel scimitar and the rapier combination, dual wielding. Ooh, my goodness. The love was in the air, and
yeah. The
we
scimitar had
definitely stayed together. Hmm.
Scimitar had one. It was cut and hamstring, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, wait. I'm trying to think of what other weapon. Okay. Oh, okay. I had a love affair with those, but then I also had a love affair with the cleaver. I don't know if you ever got the butcher
Uh,
knife and
yeah,
cleaver.
yeah. You like to cleave people in half when they were down to
Oh,
25% or whatever. Yeah.
oh yeah. I'm all about that cleave and cut. Oh well, we might as well just throw it out there. So, what is your favorite move with the weapons that are in the game right now? I'm sure everyone listening wants to know what do we both love. What's your favorite move? So, what is your favorite
Um,
move?
so, um, what I really liked is I came across a weapon that you have the potential to get. You actually have to do something specific to be able to get this weapon, but it has parry and cut. And
Mm.
what I loved about the parry and cut is when you parry, it gives you 700 points of advantage.
Oh
So
yeah.
so you attack, then you have a parry on. When they attack you, you get another 700 points, and then you have cut, which I forget how much was, like 1,500 you had to spend to do a cut. But I basically
Just about. Yeah.
every round I could cut somebody because the parry would build up my advantage, and then I would just have to do one simple attack and then a cut. So I very quickly was getting 3 bleeds on somebody for whatever, 8 points each bleed, so 24 points and bleed, going on a character very very quickly, and so I was able to draw down people's health um, uh, quite fast with that. There was another one, and I forget what the weapon was, but it was instead of parry and cut, it was riposte and cut. And
Oh yeah. Repulse
riposte
is
was
broken.
yeah,
Yeah.
riposte is pretty great because it's not just parry is just one person. If one person attacks you, you parry that move, but the next person can attack you and they'll hit you. With riposte, you're blocking everybody's, or you're not blocking it, but you're counterattacking everybody's movement. So you can
You have a
when you're
chance. You have a chance to counterattack, but it's not a guarantee. But you have a very high chance.
yeah, mine was very very high. I think very rarely did someone block it. But I had a high agility too, which I think kind of
Oh, well, that's another thing. See, again, and folks, the other thing about Eldrum, and Aaron will, attest to this, your stats. This game has just the richest stat system. You can really make any build you want. I mean, if you really want, like Aaron's got the ability to counterattack with repulse commonly. I was building a whole strength build. So I was doing my whole, the dungeon Carl, the dungeon crawler Carl build, whole strength build, and inside joke, folks. I was doing the dungeon crawler Carl build, so I was going for pure strength, and I was like, wait a second, I need to swing over there to resilience and a little bit of agility there because I'm missing out on all these riposte attacks, and I'm missing out on all these possible crits. And you don't get a lot of crits with a strength build, right?
yeah. I think it's the agility helps you get better crits, which I had like a 4 in agility by the end. And I really think going back in some of this percentage that I miss, unlike other games, I really get the feeling, and I want to do this. I want to build a charm perception build because I'm wondering how
Oh,
much things if I just could convince the
oh
right
my God, you
people,
hippie, you hippie.
or be able to see things. There was another one where clearly something was going on in a tree, and I went up to the tree, and they're like, "You don't see anything. Time to leave." But if I bet you, if I had a high perception, I would have understood. Found
I'm,
something.
if you do that build, I'm gonna add another thing to your build. I'm gonna steal something from something I've heard and go. You also get to brew kombucha. Kombucha brewery added to that build because that is.
I did notice this because
Uh,
you did not have charm. I think you left your charm at 1, right?
oh, my charm is garbage. I was
Right.
the most
Uh,
unfriendly, ugliest character ever.
I did happen to put a point into charm, and what I did notice is when you were buying stuff from the store, your prices were higher than my prices.
Are you kidding me? They pulled that on me? Oh, no wonder why I was broke all the time. Oh my goodness. All right. I think I want to know, please. I want to know. We'll definitely come back, folks. We're going to try to do this a couple of times. I'm starting a new playlist. For those of you who don't know, I've completed the game. Please check out the playlist. It's in the description. But I've also started a new playlist called Eldrum Red Tide Open World, where I'll be replaying the game, probably as an evil archer, evil ranger. And I'm hoping me and Aaron will come back as we replay through the game, and hopefully we come back with 100% playthrough. But go ahead. You were saying, so tell me more about what you were saying about this new build you're going to do.
Well, I did basically a strength agility build, and I'm just thinking, how many things may open up for the stats that I wasn't really using. Like I barely did any charm, barely did any perception. So instead, I want to just do all charm, all perception, and see, how many things
You're
pop.
gonna be a silver-tongued devil.
Right. And then there's things like we'll get this in one of the achievements, but there's a really amazing fighter that you try to convince him to do something, but I can never convince him. He just gets mad at me and attacks and kills me. So I eventually just left him alone. But I wonder if I had a high charm when I faced him, if he would listen to me and do what I asked. You know what I mean?
That would be interesting. Or, I mean, listen, I mean, you can kill everything or you can do something different. I mean, I think it's great to do something different. Try something unique. And that's agency, as you mentioned earlier. That's right. Agency. And I think that's the great part. Okay, so that's where I think Eldrum has taken the next step up. It's not just RPG text strategy. I think they have undercredited themselves. This is philosophy strategy too. It's not just strategy. It's philosophy. It's alignment. It's good versus evil. It's meta strategy, because this is really roguelike in the sense that whatever you do early is going to affect the end, and vice versa. I mean, it could affect how you play through it again. It could affect what you decide to do, because you get shut out of a lot of things based on your behaviors, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh, and I did too.
And I definitely could see some of it of just like, the simple one is, the fact that I refused to join either the church or the group of No, the cultists. I like observed both of them, and when the cultists were being attacked for really no reason, I saved those people, because it's like, hey, look, these are just people, they haven't done anything wrong. You can't just go and kill them. So that's why I was like kind of chaotic. Like I helped out sometimes, but I refused to join. You know what I mean?
Right. They want you to join. They're like, hey, you're helping us out. You're keeping us from getting slaughtered. Hey, why don't you just join us, dude?
I would never join. And same thing, like when, someone wanted to do something bad to the church, I warned the church about it. It said, hey, they're about to do something bad. You might want to know about that. But I refused to join.
You're kind of like playing both sides almost in a sense, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I said chaotic neutral. You never know what I'm going to do.
I chose some sides. I do believe when it came to the church, I wind up being really cool with them for a while, and they were totally like doing that thing like, oh, good. You get what we're doing here. And then I was doing that whole thing for a minute, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm done with you all. You're just getting too radical, and I'm going to have to go take a step back. And they didn't like that. And then they shut me down. Basically, when I got to the part of the story where you really have to be really in with the two factions, and I was just way too much in the middle. I did what you did a little bit, but I was a little bit in with the one faction really for a long period of time. I think it'd be the No, the faction of No, the cult of No, No. I was in with them for a while, and we were cool. We were working together. They were snubbing me every now and then, but we were in for a minute. And then I just got so tired of dealing with them. I'm like, I'm gonna work with the crown. Like I really feel like there was an opportunity in this particular game to really talk about the hierarchy, the government. I feel like they didn't give them enough opportunity to interact with you. Like we're just a scrub. But I feel like there was an opportunity there to let us interact a lot more with the higher ups in government, right?